Hi Liz, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Well, thanks for dropping in today. And I see that you've got some concerns at workplace. According to your notes that you have brought with you, I'm just trying to talk slow. According to the notes you have mentioned here that you've been having a bit of concerns about the communication in workplace, and it's a good thing that you have written down all the points that are worrying you at work, and we can go through them one at a time. I mean, according to the performance criteria, the subject is prepared service area. Oh, I'm sorry. Uh, I'm looking at the wrong form. Yeah. So according to that, we've got communication in workplace that we're going to focusing on, and you have mentioned few things like you're not sure how to take phone calls at workplace, and also you're having trouble with greeting customers, and I'm sure you've been put in a position where you have to handle phone calls, and then you've got clients dropping in, and you've got uh, all sort of things happening, delivery drivers coming through, and then there's a lot of things happening, and that can get very overwhelming at times. So with the phone calls, like, what is it that worries you? Is it just answering the phone and talking to the clients?
Yes, yeah, communicating, understanding what they want.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, you are in a school situation at this moment, so clients know that you are still learning, so they understand if you're not sure about something, and clients are quite happy for you to put them on hold and get the speak with your supervisor, one of your teachers, or you could speak with one of your seniors colleagues, students, and obviously get the correct response from them and then get back to them. And most clients are quite comfortable with that because they know that you're still under training. It is a school environment, and so basically, you will be answering phone calls saying Chameli Beauty, beauty school, and that's pretty much what you would want to say. If you're not comfortable, may I help you, or things like that, you can add these things later, but you can just start off with Chameli Beauty School, and then most likely it'll be clients ringing up to make a booking, or it could be a delivery person ringing up to say, these things are being delivered. So in that case, you can always talk to your supervisors and let them know that this is what's happening. If there is a client that's calling and wanting to make a booking, you'll go into our booking, booking diary, and then you'll take them through. If you're not sure, you can always talk to one of the other students or the teachers. And so does that make sense? Like, you're happy with that?
Yes, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So, I mean, at times, you might have a lot of things happening. There might be customers walking in, and then you have the phone ringing, and then you've got people dropping in, and you've got delivery drivers, you've got maybe sales reps coming into the beauty clinic, and it's all happening, and it can be very, very overwhelming at times. And if things like that happen, sometimes you just got to work around it. If the phone is ringing, for example, I mean, that would become your priority, because if the phone keeps ringing, it can be annoying for the clients, if the phone is ringing for too long. So you could say to the client that, oh, if you just excuse me for a few seconds, I'll just answer this one, and then I'll be with you shortly. And I'm sure they don't mind, because, I think 9 out of 10 times people are happy for the phone to stop ringing in the background, because it can get very, very annoying. And then if you're not sure about something, you can, like I said, you can always consult someone at the school with your teachers. And then also you have written here you are unsure of how to greet customers. Obviously, you haven't worked in a similar environment before, in the beauty clinic environment, and it's pretty much how you would greet anywhere else. If you put yourself at ease, just pretend that they are your friends, and you just giving them the same kind of respect that you give your friends. So you could always greet them with hello, how are you, how can we help you today, things like that. So are you comfortable with that sort of greeting?
Yes, that's pretty well what I was thinking.
Okay. Yeah, just keep it simple for yourself, no need to, invent a fancy thing.
Yeah.
So, and also you've written here, unsure of what to do when client has entered the salon and the phone is ringing. So just as I covered earlier on, if the phone is ringing, it's best to answer that first.
But to acknowledge the customer.
That's right.
At the
Yes.
same time.
Yeah, that's right. Just say that. Oh, excuse me, I'll just attend to this phone call. I'll be with you shortly, and there might be an inquiry and you're not sure of, and then everyone's busy and you can't find anyone, so you can't just keep talking to them. So maybe in that case you can say to the client or someone on the phone that can I get your details and I'll call you back, or I'll get someone else to call you back, because I can't help you at this point, but someone else can help you and they will call you back shortly. So you could do that. And also you've written down that you're unsure of how to ask questions. Now when it comes to asking questions, the main thing is, we want to determine what sort of service the client is after, whether they have come for a facial, whether they have come for a massage. It could be some waxing service, it could be a hot stone massage, so there could be all sorts of things. So I've just got some of these forms just as an example, So you will first ask them, what are they having done today, and then if they say they're having, they're probably having spray tan done today at the clinic. So you would say, okay, well that's fine, and then you would grab one of these spray tan forms from the filing cabinet, and they are kept under spray tanning forms, and then you will take your clients to the consultation room and you will fill out the information there, because we are going to ask client personal questions to fill out the forms. So we want to make sure that we respect their privacy. So we have consultation rooms for that reason, and you take them into the room and then you can fill out the paperwork. So that way the formalities are done, and then you take them to the service area, and then they can have their tan done. And then there's a waxing form if someone's having waxing, things like that. The reason we ask these questions, it might sound like a lot of work. Oh, all these hundreds of questions we have to ask. They are important because some of the services we perform, if there's any contraindications on clients, then obviously we have to be careful. So, for example, if they're having a waxing service done and they might have really bad sun damage to their skin, or they've been sunbathing on the weekend and they've got peeled skin, they've got sunburns and things like that. So obviously you will advise them against it. So for that reason, we have to fill out all these forms, unfortunately. And then for your everyday thing, like for your massage and facials, we've got a general form that does ask questions about their health and things like that. So yes, it is a lot of questions. And the thing is, if you're not sure how to ask them, you can always refer to them, to the forms. You just go one thing at a time, and 9 out of 10 times it actually prompts a conversation. You might ask a question, and then the client will respond, and they might tell you a bit of a story about that question that you have asked. For example, have you got Botox or fillers? And they might say, oh, yeah, my mom tried that, or something like that, and then there'll be a bit of a conversation. So it's a bit of an icebreaker. You get to know your client, and then it puts you at ease too, because it's more like an interaction, more like a friendly atmosphere for you too. So because you're still new into this area, it is daunting, but you will see as you go along. So don't be afraid to ask questions, because you're doing it for professional reasons. You want to make sure that your clients receive the correct service, and and obviously we don't want any problems later on, you know, if they have contraindications and then they have some sort of reaction to it, they might have allergies and things like that. So for that reason, you're doing the right thing. So don't feel like you're asking them questions and you might annoy them. That won't happen. And there are clients who might object to it. They say, well, why should I have to give you all this information? Then you could explain to them that, you know, we want to ensure that you get good service, and we want to make sure that, you know, that you're not going to be affected by any of the products, and we want to ensure that there is no allergies and things like that. So please just say, please bear with me, it won't take that long. You know? And then obviously for those clients, you want to go through it quickly, you know, because they're not interested in making a chit chat.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So those forms, each time they come in, do they have to fill one in every time?
Yes, that's right.
Even if
What-
they've been before?
Yes. What happens in that case, if they're coming back as a repeat customers, you will just access their form through the files. So you just look up their name up top, and then what will happen? You will still ask them questions, but you won't go through the whole thing. What you can do is ask them that, has anything changed since you've been here last? Have you had any operations, or if there's been any health issues? And if they say no to everything, then you can go ahead and perform the service. It should have all the products that you have used, or another student might have used those products. It will be listed on the back. So all you have to do is refer to those, and then you can ask them that, look, these products are listed here. Are you happy for me to use the same products? It's good to ask them about the changes, because they might have had perfect skin when they came last time, but then they've gone overseas, had a lot of oily food, whatever, and they've come back with a lot of pimples, and you might have to adjust the treatment according to the changes to their skin. So you can refer to that, and then you can judge their skin by looking at it, and just say that, you know, like, okay, these are the products were used for your skin before. Are you happy for me to use the same products? And you can judge it yourself as well, that, oh, looks like, you know, she's got still good skin and everything. But if you see there's a problem, they say, well, we have these products written down, but I feel that we should do another skin analysis and just make sure that if there is any specialized treatment you need this time, we can actually adjust the treatment accordingly. So yeah, you could do things like that. And then your next point you made here is, okay, so you have written down here that you've been put in awkward situation when client has started sharing too much information with you during during service. So for that reason, you know, I can relate to that, because we do have sometimes clients who love to tell you everything, you know, and then there are times that, you know, you can do a little bit of chit chat, but what happens is, like, then you lose your focus, and then you're trying to do something, and they're going, no. And then obviously you think, okay, well, I'm trying to focus on my thing. I don't want to insult the client. So how do I handle this? And we've all been put into that position before, and so I know exactly what it is that you face when someone is sharing too much information with you. So how I handle that, normally when we have our first consultation with our clients, we had our chit chat, whatever it is that we need to speak, we do. And then when we go to the service area, because it's a school clinic and the rooms are not completely crowded, you know, if you talk, you're going to disturb the other clients there. So what you can say to them, that I won't be talking to you during the service, because I want you to just relax and enjoy your facial or massage or whatever it is that they're receiving on the day, and that way they already know beforehand that that's what they're supposed to do. You will get an occasional client, just, you know, may not exactly do what you ask them to do, but you can say to them politely that, no, I just want you to relax, you know, just let's not talk now. I want you to relax and enjoy your treatment now. And they understand, you know, because they just feel like, oh, well, you just you just want them to relax and enjoy. So they're okay with that too. And then also I have a talking person. Okay, so what you have written down here is how to make conversation with the customer at the beginning and during. We sort of covered most of it anyway. At the beginning, obviously, the consultation. I mean, even as simple as how was your day so far, something like that. And then some of them might just start saying, "Oh, you let me tell you." And then in that case, you say, "Well, let's not even go into that. How about we fix that for you today? You have come to the right place and you're in good hands, And that way you just assured them that they have come to the right place and they are in good hands and they're going to have a fabulous treatment and lovely relaxing time with you. And then you have said that during treatment, so obviously it's a good idea not to talk during treatment, but the problem is with during treatment, you can't totally rely on silence, because the client might be lying there freezing, or they might be feeling really hot, that they might have too many blankets on them or whatever, or the air conditioning might be too cold and they might feel chills going down their back, and so we want them to be able to tell you those things. We don't want them to be completely silent, because you want to make sure that they have good experience. Otherwise,
they're comfortable.
That's right. Yeah. Otherwise, they're not going to come back. So in that case, during the service, I usually just place my hand on their shoulder and ask them, "Are you comfortable? Do you need more towels? Are you warm enough?" And if they say yes, no, and then I just leave it at that and I continue with the service. And also, you have asked here how to ask for feedback. After the service, you can always, once they have got changed and everything, and then you brought them out, they've done the payment, that's the best time to talk to them about the products that you have used and the service they have received on the day. We have, the product information forms that look like that, and then you just fill up one of the product information forms and just tick the products that they have that you have used in your treatment on that day. And you could even have all the products sitting there in a basket and say, "Well, these are the products I used for you." And they might have some issues on their skin on the day. They might have really bad dehydration, and you might want to show them one of the hydrating treatments. Say, "Well, I noticed that you had a lot of dehydration on your skin, and I really recommend this product, because I can see that you need a little bit extra nourishment on your skin," and things like that. And that way, you've sort of recommended a product as well, because as professional, they're expecting you to advise them. A lot of times people go to a place and get their service, and they come out and they wanted to buy something for their skin. Maybe they're ready for it, or maybe the products they're using at home, they're finished, but they were never asked. So yes, a lot of time people just walk out because they were not given the choice. Or you could recommend them a product that's on special that you might have used for them, and say, "Well, this is a product that's for sale at the moment. It's 20% off, whatever the sale may be," and that way that might prompt them to buy products from you. And obviously that's an extra brownie point for you, because selling is also part of any job, so selling skincare products and things like that. So that helps, because in future you're going to be working with business. You might be working in your own business, or you might be working for an establishment, and sales is always part of your job, no matter what you do. So that's something you can recommend, and that way, that's like your workplace does rely on sales as well, as well as your service. So yeah, it's always a good thing to have, like to be able to recommend product. And And if you work in a workplace works on bonus points, there's few bonus points for you in sales. So okay, so you've written down here you're not sure how to set for the next appointment. I mean, as a professional in beauty therapy that you studied, you have learned that how long before a treatment should be repeated. You know, so you could make recommendation accordingly. If they have come for a waxing service, you could tell them, okay, this is your hair cycle, and this is the time that I would recommend for you to rebook. Would you like me to pencil you in? And you will get a yes 9 out of 10 times. And same with your facial massage. You can say, okay, would you like me to book your next massage in? I can pencil you in, and then you can confirm it once you've seen your diary. And then in a way it's good for your business when you have ongoing bookings, and it's good for clients because they're going to feel good about themselves and they can see the results on their skin, and then they're going to feel good if they're having massages, regular massages, you know. So that's what it's all about, you know, like recommending, looking after them, making sure they come back and feel good and look good. So tell me, like, is there anything today that, you know, anything out of these points that we discussed, is there anything you're unsure about?
No, I think that's pretty well covered it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably a big issue is managing a client when they walk in and the phone's ringing, and
Yes.
and then if the delivery person turns up at the same time,
That's
as
right.
to who to deal with first.
That's right, yes. I mean, the delivery drivers, they're only there for a short time,
Yeah.
so they just want to drop things off and
And
go.
sign or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So at least you know that that's the least of your worries. The number one thing is phone, because you know, and if you can't deal with them, the best is to get their details and call them back.
Yeah.
Or if it's just something as quick as making an appointment, you could do that straight
Right.
away. Yeah. And most people don't mind. They rather you go and attend to the phone than the phone be ringing in the background anyway. So I mean, you know, you're never alone in the school clinic anyway. So if you are there and everything is happening and you can't attend to everything, you can always ask someone to help you with the delivery driver or the phone call, whatever, or just say ask the person on the phone to hold on, and then you can call someone to attend to the phone. So there's always ways to go around. I know that it can. There are times where everything can happen at the same time, and thinking, oh gosh, what do I attend first? So anyway, I'll just go and see what else you have written out here. Okay. So just you know, just let's pretend that you're answering a phone call, and you just want to answer that's Chameli Beauty School. You know, let's see whether you still feel confident in answering a phone call. So let's pretend the phone is ringing. Yeah.
So I'll
Hello. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe good morning, or
Yes.
yeah, good morning. This is Chameli Beauty School.
Good morning, this is Chameli, the
Beauty School.
beauty school.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
This is Liz speaking.
Okay.
How may I help you?
Very good. Excellent. See, there you go. You've got it all, all well practiced. So yeah, that's you know, it's pretty much how you would handle things. I mean, obviously, when we're at home, we don't answer the phone
The same
you know,
way, yeah.
same way. It's not so official at home. So it does take a bit of a practice. So because you're still new into it, you know, it might take a few practices for you to get used to saying that, and it shouldn't take that long anyway. Because I think that you pretty much you've you've got a good understanding of the whole thing, but I understand that you just wanted to recap everything and make sure that you're doing the right thing. And that shows that you've taken the initiative and taking the extra, making that extra effort to actually discuss it with me, you know, and recapping everything, so which is a good thing. And even with, so you're okay with filling up the forms and everything now? You're happy with that?
Yes.
You understand?
If the customer doesn't want to answer some of the questions,
Yeah.
you just go with
Um,
that, or
We need the answers, especially if it relates to the health. Yeah, so they have to have answers. So if you are putting in a position like that, you have to explain to them that that's a very good point actually. You have to explain to them that it is my duty to make sure that I have all the answers and to ensure that we are doing this safely and correctly for you. We need to make sure that we have all the answers to all the questions. So and also assure to them that this your information is kept private and confidential, and it will remain in locked up filing cabinet. So there won't be any situation where you're